Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. Katie Thurston has shared every detail of her cancer battle with followers, including her preparations for breast removal surgery. Thurston, 34, disclosed on the Off the Vine podcast on Tuesday, July 29, that she will need surgery for her continuing battle with stage 4 breast cancer, but not right away. "We waited to see if the drug was working. And it is," Thurston told podcast host Caitlin. "So we're gonna basically give it 3 more months, and then I can do a double mastectomy, get a boob job if I want, which is, I think, the route I'm gonna go." Thurston remarked that her husband, Jeff Arcury, hopes she gets bigger breast implants after surgery, despite the fact that she is a petite woman. "With smaller women, it can be too much," Thurston said, noting, "It's been a difficulty of, I've worked my whole life to finally feel confident in my breast area, and now you're telling me I have to chop them off and get new ones?" Thurston publicly revealed in February that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer. By the following month, she had reported that the disease had spread to her liver, putting it at stage 4. "I know stage 4 can sound very scary, and it can be," Thurston explained in a March Instagram video. "Despite being triple positive, the early detection of small spots on my liver gives me hope for a good outcome. I also enjoyed wine. I liked the sugars, the desserts." Thurston described her stay in Greece in a July Instagram story, saying, "I enjoyed the memories that I'm making. Because what's the point in not living when you have today? Do you remember when you were given life? And that is how I feel every day. I just say, thank you. Every night I go to bed, I say, thank you for giving me today." While Thurston announced earlier this month that physicians pushed her body into medically induced menopause to help treat her illness, the 40-year-old said she hopes to one day solely share positive health updates. "My hope for the future is that, whether it's this year or next year, I'll be like, hey guys, there's no evidence of disease," Thurston was quoted as saying Tuesday. "Although theoretically, stage 4 is incurable. Technically, medically, I will have breast cancer indefinitely. But, with so much progress happening and the fact that I caught it when I did, I'm really optimistic." Katie Thurston had never been one to hide behind the curtain. From her bold introduction on The Bachelor to her honest and sometimes divisive run as the Bachelorette, she had always lived her truth out loud. But nothing had prepared her, or her fans, for the journey she was now walking. Diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer in February, Katie had quickly shifted from dating headlines to medical updates, vulnerability becoming her armor as she laid bare every fear, every hope, and every victory in front of her followers. It started with a self-exam. Katie had always been in tune with her body, and she had joked once during a podcast that she was the queen of WebMDing every ache and bump. But this time, it wasn't paranoia. It was instinct. And it saved her life. The lump was small, almost dismissible. But something told her not to. She scheduled an appointment. Then another. Then the tests came, and with them came the cold, clinical words that would upend her world. Stage 4. Triple positive. Metastasis to the liver. She still remembered the way the oncologist's mouth moved around the words, slow and deliberate, as though he were trying to soften the impact. But there was no softening something like that. Katie sat frozen in the examination room, her then-boyfriend Jeff Arcury gripping her hand so tightly that his knuckles turned white. They'd only been dating 8 months, but in that moment, something shifted. He didn't flinch. He didn't step back. He moved forward. That night, he told her he loved her for the first time. In the months that followed, the relationship deepened. They got engaged in April, married in a quiet courthouse ceremony in June, and became partners not only in life but in survival. Jeff was her rock, the one who stayed up with her through the night when the chemo made her tremble, the one who shaved her head when clumps of hair began to fall out in the shower, the one who filled the house with yellow tulips because she once told him they reminded her of her grandmother. Katie chronicled it all on Instagram, through posts and stories and reels, making her followers feel like they were in the trenches with her. But she also knew when to protect her peace. She didn't show every tear. She didn't document every scan. Some things remained sacred between her and Jeff, between her and the journal she'd started keeping on her nightstand. Still, when she appeared on Caitlin Bristow's Off the Vine podcast in late July, her energy was light. Laughing. Hopeful. She shared how the drug regimen was working better than expected. The tumors in her liver had shrunk. Her blood work had stabilized. She was tolerating treatment better than doctors predicted. "I mean, look, I'm not running marathons," she laughed, "but I'm walking my dog every morning and I only cried twice last week, so we're calling that a win." The conversation turned to the future, something Katie was finally allowing herself to imagine again. She spoke candidly about the upcoming surgery. A double mastectomy. The idea had terrified her at first. The loss of her breasts felt symbolic in ways she couldn't explain. Her femininity, her confidence, her identity, they all seemed wrapped up in that one physical feature. And now she'd be giving them up, willingly, for a chance at more time. "I've spent most of my adult life trying to love my body," she said during the podcast, her voice steady but reflective. "I used to stand in front of mirrors and wish I could change everything. And now that I've finally accepted myself, now that I finally feel good, it's like, boom, we're starting over." She smiled when Caitlin asked about reconstruction. "Oh yeah, I'm getting a boob job," she said playfully. "Jeff's already campaigning for bigger ones, but I told him he can buy himself some if he wants them that bad." They both laughed, but there was a poignancy to her words that lingered even after the humor faded. Katie knew the surgery would be a turning point, not just physically, but emotionally. For the past several months, her life had been divided into segments: diagnosis, treatment, waiting. The surgery would mark the beginning of a new chapter. Recovery. Redefinition. She wasn't quite sure who she'd be on the other side of it, but she was ready to find out. Behind the scenes, the emotional toll was real. Medically induced menopause had sent her hormones into chaos. Hot flashes, insomnia, mood swings. There were nights she lay awake beside Jeff, staring at the ceiling fan as it spun slowly overhead, wondering if she'd ever feel normal again. She wanted kids. That had always been in the plan. Now it felt like that dream had evaporated. She tried not to dwell on it, but there were moments, watching her nieces run through the backyard, hearing a lullaby in a commercial, that made the grief sneak up on her. Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and do not miss any update.